What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I thought I would come in here tonight. We could talk some Packers. So we can discuss what, of course, we saw this past weekend and go forward and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm happy to discuss. So I'll give it a second, wait for some people to hop in here. I was messing around with my streaming software, and then apparently I'd already posted my stream, and I don't know what was happening, but I think I got it all figured out. So Cheesy, what's up? How's it going? So I'll give it a minute, wait for some people to hop in the stream, and then we can get going about Packers' current situation. Nick the Realtor, are you hearing this Mike Zimmer chatter? Which Mike Zimmer chatter are you talking about? I don't know if I've heard this. Isaac, what's up? Aloha, brother Luke. What's up, dude? How's it going? Meme Overdose, what's up? So Cheesy, what's up? Nathan, what's up? Texas Savage, what's up? We need DJ Moore. Yeah, I saw DJ Moore's name flying around this week for the Panthers because I guess they fired their coach, Matt Rule. But then I saw an article today that was titled like, that it said the Panthers aren't interested in trading DJ Moore. I didn't read the whole article, but that's what it said. What do you think of the Devontae charge? Yeah, I saw that this morning that Devontae was charged with what was like a misdemeanor assault from the pushing the cameraman. I was shocked to see that it went that far. But I guess that guy wanted to do that, which a little interesting, but yeah, interesting situation for sure. El Novitas, what's up? So who are we picking up at the wide receiver position? Who are we picking up? Who knows if we'll pick up anybody? If we don't, I won't be surprised. I don't think we necessarily need to, but I would love to pick up someone, if someone was available out there. Chad, what's up? How's it going, Chad? Packers lose to Jets. I'm dead. Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen, but I'm optimistic about this week. Gren 808, what's up? How's it going? Eagles go. Jordan, are you an Eagles fan? Nick says, I guess people are trying to chat into existence the Packers getting rid of Very and hiring Zimmer. Oh, I see. Because I guess Zimmer is he not anywhere right now? The Packers are wearing the throwbacks on Sunday. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that even the Packers Twitter changed their profile picture to the Acme packing company or Acme whatever thing. But yeah, I should wear my Rodgers throwback jersey. I have one of those. Opinions on Odell to the Packers? Yes, I would be 100% for Odell to the Packers. If they could figure out a contract that made sense, 100%. It's never a bad idea to add more talent to a roster, but I think Odell's looking around the rest of the league, seeing where he wants to go. Who knows if he would pick the Packers or if the Packers would want him, but I would like Odell to the Packers, no doubt. Y'all win. I still have Super Bowl hopes. Barely, basically none. You lost all your Super Bowl hopes. This week could have been the best thing to happen to us, though. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about, having an ugly, unfortunate loss this early is hopefully the Packers, fix all the issues that happened this week on offense and defense, and hopefully things will get smoothed out by the time we come in here in a few weeks and face off against the Buffalo Bills, because that is going to be some very good competition in Buffalo. So hopefully this next week we come in, get things figured out, and hopefully things are much better going forward. Gren 808 says trade Watson in a third for DJ Moore. Yeah, I don't think the Packers should not trade Christian Watson. Definitely not. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Packer boys. The Packers may not win the division this year. Minnesota is on fire. Keep up the work. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, right now the Vikings are ahead of us, which is unfortunate. They're one game ahead of us. They're 4-1. We're 3-2. The Bears are 2-3. But hopefully that will change soon. Hopefully. If not, that will be unfortunate, but I believe that we will be ahead of the Vikings in the future. Yep. Let's hope that's true. OBJ ain't clear till November. Yeah, that's what it seems like. He should be healed by maybe mid-November. So what's that, like a month from now, potentially? And you have to know lots of fan bases out there like, Odell, please pick us. Meme says Watson was a waste of a pick. I disagree. It's way too early to judge rookies. It's way too early to judge rookies' entire careers. Because I know back in the day, people were, saying Devontae wasn't good. And look what happened there. So, but I think Christian Watson is just, hopefully soon he'll get more involved and get things figured out, but too early. Then One Bullet Gaming says, let's be real. The Packers shouldn't have won this many games. We got lucky. Rodgers needs to stop going for home run balls, and we need to run more. We lost the game last week because we didn't run it. I do agree that we need to run the ball more. When we have A.J. Dillon running for, he's like the league leader when it comes to yards per carry, like 6.4. And I think he is ranked like 19th or 20th in attempts. And so the Packers definitely need to feed Aaron Jones more, as well as A.J. Dillon. And Matt LaFleur in his press conference this week was saying he does need to do a better job of getting those guys the ball. So let's hope that happens, because last week, the thing was, if those passes would have worked and the Packers would have come out with a victory and they wouldn't have run the ball, clearly it wouldn't be a discussion. But it's it's a big discussion right now among Packers fans because clearly it didn't work. So what has been working is the run. So we'll see if the Packers do that. But one thing too is the fact that if we look at this past game, the Giants were almost like daring the Packers to throw the ball because they brought like more guys into the box, had like a heavier box, a single high safety. They were trying to convince the Packers to pass, which they did, weren't successful. So, Dude, Pack Attack, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Okay, let me try to get to some of your more comments because I'm trying to go through these one at a time. Oh, there's a lot more comments than I may not get to all of them. If I don't get to yours, I'm sorry, but I'll do my best. Ian Biltran says, D coordinator needs a complete revamp or just go back to what he did last year. Yeah, that's one thing about this game that it just doesn't make sense is the fact that we have these, the Giants were without 3 of their top receivers with an injury, and the Packers were playing off, like Jair and Eric Stokes, like 5 to 10 yards off in some instances, which just doesn't make sense when you have talented cornerbacks like that who can like man up. I don't see why we would just sit back in zone and let those guys just do that. So I do think the Packers need to fix that situation. I don't know if Joe Barry will change that. We'll see. But I do think that's something the Packers need to figure out for sure. Watson is a weapon we need. I agree. You said any truth to locker room problems? No, I don't think so. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I reacted to the video yesterday from the Pat McAfee show about that, where I think Jair was just saying if we lose to the Jets, he'll be worried, and Rodgers was saying he doesn't like that kind of talk. But I don't think it's a big issue. I don't. It was just right after the game, So I think everything's fine. Week 17 will decide the division winner because we play the Vikings week 17, correct? I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure that's it. Commanders over Bears tomorrow. Let's hope so. Is Aaron Rodgers off this year? Maybe a little bit. Last game, there were some throws that are a little questionable for Rodgers, but it's just one game. All right, we got Aaron Berry. Vikings will win NFC North, and you a clear-cut biased Packers fan. They haven't shown anything. What do you mean? I'm not a Packers fan. Don't look at my wall. Trade Amari, keep Christian. Nah, I just don't see the Packers making any trades. I was just thinking to myself, it's funny, like the difference in comments, like after like a loss versus a win. It's more entertaining actually, to be honest. Packer Boys. By the way, Packer Boys, a long time ago, I saw your comment. I clicked on your channel, saw that you and your brother were posting some videos, so keep it up. You should post some more. Do you think Davante Adams is still the best receiver after leaving Green Bay? You mean like in the league? I still think he is. I mean, he had a dominant performance the other day. LT86 says, it's going to be a different season. Let's stay under the radar and learn how to deal with adversity. Could make for an even stronger team once playoffs are here. No, definitely. If we can, deal with these issues now, by the time the season ends, playoffs come around, and we're like, clicking on all cylinders and things are going well, hopefully these losses will allow that to happen. JT says we don't need Odell. We need to run the ball. Or we could have Odell and run the ball. We could run the ball with Odell. Davante Adams, just joking about that, by the way. I mean, he'd probably be good back there, though. Davante Adams, 21-year-old rookie, and y'all hear Christian. Okay. Chad, how's my fantasy league doing? I'm actually doing well. I'm first place right now. 4-1. Yeah, 4-1. So I'm hoping I can keep it up this week. So is Rodgers playing Sunday? Yeah, he has a thumb injury. He didn't practice today, but Matt LaFleur said he expects he should be able to play. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. C. Amalek says, I was surprised we won this week. Giants just wanted it. Just wanted it more this week. It showed Packers also shot themselves in the foot, no doubt. Yeah, there were lots of big penalties on defense as well. Where I think we had 2 sacks taken back. Yeah, sorry, these comments are coming fast. This offense needs to run through Aaron Jones. Ian says, I agree. Let's see. LT86 says, do we not know how to stop crossing routes? Yeah, there's one interesting stat you guys may have seen it this week. The Packers allow, I think, the third fewest passing yards, but the most yards on crossing routes in the NFL, which I think sort of has to do with like sitting back in zone as we are, which I don't know if that's the best solution because I feel like, we should have like Jair and Eric Stokes maybe playing some more man potentially, but hopefully the Packers figured it out. We'll see. We'll see if Joe Barry makes necessary adjustments because if not, hopefully things don't continue like they did. But I have hope. I believe we will rebound. Is this Packers team playoff bound? Yes. Wish Barry would send a 5-man rush more often. QBs have all day to throw. Yeah, it'd be nice if he sent some more pressure occasionally, some more blitzes. You say Rashad Price. We are second in the league in passing defense. Okay, second, not third. That is pretty crazy, but there are those big moments where we just allow, like in situations where we can't allow it against Bailey Zappi, Daniel Jones. Just those things that need to get cleaned up. But I feel like they would if we we're a little more aggressive on the defensive side of the ball, clamping up on our guys more instead of, sitting back. Like there was one play in particular, I think it was like a 2nd and 19, and Jair was lined up like 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, which I don't know why we would do that because then they just threw a little short screen or like a little screen to him. He got like 10, 15 yards. So I hope that Joe Barry switches that up personally. We'll see. Sorry, I missed tons of comments. I'm trying here to get to as many as I can. Who do I want to draft in 2023? Dude, I don't know. I haven't started looking into that yet. Dobbs will be a game changer. Elno Vidas. No, I agree with you. I do think he's going to have some big games coming up. This past week, he didn't do too much. A lot of the passing offense ran through Randall Cobb, which was nice to see him playing well. It was mainly in the first half. Mr. Schwartz Know-It-All says Kurt Benkert was released off of 49ers practice squad. Oh, was he? Man. Well, maybe the Packers... Well, I don't feel like the Packers would bring him back if they already released him, but I wish him nothing but the best. He seems like a solid guy. DJ Moore. Yeah, I saw that I'm pretty sure I saw a report earlier today about DJ Moore that the Panthers don't want to trade him because they just fired their head coach. And people were debating if they wanted to trade away some players for picks. But I'm pretty sure I saw an article that said they do not want to do that. But yeah. Lakers fan 17. Packers will be fine. Scoop, and I'm a Rams fan. All right. I think we'll be fine too. I think we will. Okay. What's your recommendation on stopping crossers? I don't exactly know what the answer is. It seems like there's some miscommunication at times on the field, like with who has who. Like there was one I talked about in a video earlier this week. I have a picture here on my phone actually because I tweeted it. Let me find it. Just one example. Where'd it go? It's from a few days ago. There was one where Saquon Barkley is. You can see Devondre Campbell here. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. You can sort of see it. You can see Devondre Campbell there pointing, and you can see Saquon around the 40, and he's trying to switch the guy off, but then Quay's with 82. And then the next play, or the next sequence of photo you can see here. That's when Saquon got 40 yards or something. So it seems like there's some miscommunication. I don't exactly know what the answer is, but I just feel like this defense should, line up more head on the receivers instead of 5-10 yards off most of the time. But But I'm not a defensive coordinator, but that's what if I had to do something, that's what I would do. If they're like, Luke, you have to tell us to do something, that's what I would tell them. Packer Boy says, I think at best Packers 12-5, but I think it will be 11-6 at worst. At worst, 8-9. Yeah, because currently 3-2. What, the past 2 years we've been 13-3 or did 17 games start last year? Does Rodgers retire after this year, Luke? I like your name, by the way. I don't think so. That's my prediction. I don't think so. Mr. Sam says, will Odell even help? He'll probably come back to the field by playoffs. The thing is, we need a good wide receiver now. I honestly think, personally, I think we do have the talent at wide receiver as long as things start clicking, because there have been moments where it works. This past week in the second half, it wasn't clicking. I really just feel like Romeo Doubs is a great talent, and hopefully the Packers can figure out an offense. But yeah, Odell, he would definitely help in the playoffs, which the Packers, I think, could use some, experience in the playoffs. You need guys, or it's great to have guys who have been there before and for like big, intense moments. Mitch says Sammy Watkins injury update. He's still on the IR, so there's nothing to update currently. But I guess he's been on the IR. What is that? 2 games, 3 games? I haven't seen anything about Sammy Watkins though. Dude, El Novitas, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I really appreciate the support. We making the playoffs? Yes, I still believe we will make the playoffs. We're sitting at 3-2. I do think. I think we'll rebound this week, hopefully. And I do believe we will make the playoffs. NFL Packer Boy, what's up? What is up? Glenn says, do you think Rodgers' deep pass ability has declined this year? Yeah, I actually showed a stat earlier today, my injury update video, that if you look around the league, I think it's a mix of maybe Rodgers and the receivers, maybe not being completely on the same page, probably. But the Packers haven't just been great, or Aaron Rodgers' passer rating hasn't been above the league average when it comes to like his deep shots. So I think could be a few reasons for that. But this past week we went Rodgers was 0 for 6 on passes over 20 yards, which was like the most passes over 20 yards for him without a completion since like 2016. So I do think we're, missing like the connection there. I don't know if it has to do with, probably partly Devontae gone. He had some of those, MVS gone as well. But hopefully we'll see some of that start to work, especially if teams keep daring us to, throw the ball, because as I was saying earlier, in the second half, they were, loading the box up more. Matt LaFleur was saying they had, single high safety, and the Packers basically were like, okay, we're going to pass it in these situations, but the Packers weren't able to. So let's hope they can do that. All right. Sorry, I missed a lot of comments. I'm trying to find some here. Last year was 13-4. You don't think Jordy is washed? Should we bring back Jordy Nelson? How old is Jordy Nelson? He's probably younger than Tom Brady. Tom Brady's still playing, so maybe, bring back Jordy. Got Jordy up here. Wait, where is he? It's hard to point with the camera. There he is. There's Jordy Nelson. Packer legend. Zion says, teams are not afraid of the passing game. Yeah, the Giants weren't in the second half last week, and it worked out for them. Rodgers or Brady? Rodgers. John says, also our tight ends too, they low-key reliable. Yeah, I think that's something too when it comes to Robert Tonyan, the fact that he's just recently, of course, back from his ACL. I mean, for a few games, but I feel like he should continue to progress and become more confident, with the ball in his hands. Mick Hill is coming back. Yeah, Kylan Hill was at practice today for the first time in a long time, so I think the Packers have 21 days to decide if to activate him, which they probably should at some point in those 21 days. Do I think Love is our future QB? Potentially. Who knows how long Rodgers will play? What do I think about the Jets defense? Yeah, the Jets seem like they have I think they're I actually was looking at some of these stats earlier. I typed in my notes section of my phone. Let me find them. They're the 10th best passing defense in the league, the 16th best rushing defense in the league, the 18th ranked scoring defense, and 18th in sacks. So they're a sort of like middle of the road defense. I feel like the Packers should rely on the run a lot this week. and I think it should work. So especially with, that everyone's, the discussion being like, why didn't you run the ball more? And then even Matt LaFleur saying, yes, basically we need to run the ball more. I would expect the Packers to run the ball more. And the Jets are 18th. So, do the Packers have the money or picks to even get Odell, Mr. Sam? I think they have the money. I don't exactly know the cap situation currently. I can actually find it right now. But he's a free agent, so they wouldn't have to give any picks. Packers salary cap space. With the salary cap, though, it's like obviously it's like real, but it's like sort of not real at the same time. It's like 50-50, real and fake. We have 6.7 million cap space. So they could probably figure that out. Yeah. Ryan says Ryan Pulser, Rodgers isn't declining. It's the wide receivers and not being in sync. I do think that is part of it. Yeah, I think because Rodgers has been used for years to having Devontae to rely on. And obviously, when you take away the best receiver in the game, it's going to take some time to work things out. But there have been moments. The Packers have relied a lot on the quick passing game when things have worked. But like the first half this past week, if we could do that every game, that was 20 points. We do that each half, that's 40. It's just the Packers offense has been inconsistent at times. Like we're looking good for one half, and then the next half we just, sort of fall asleep. Chris, do you think the Packers are going to bounce back this weekend? I do. Steven Johnson, what's going on with Christian Watson? Well, he has a hamstring injury currently. He suffered it versus the Giants. He didn't practice today. Wait, he didn't practice, right? I made a video on this. Yeah, he didn't practice, I believe. Or he was limited. No, I think he didn't practice. Or he was limited. I can't remember what I said earlier. It's slipping my mind currently. King says Christian dropped a 75-yarder. So he's just going to be a jet sweep guy. I think eventually he'll be a deep threat. It hasn't happened yet. But we will see. Santiago says, I think Rodgers' passing percentage has decreased because they are forcing passes. I don't know what you think. There were a couple instances last game where maybe he was forcing it when guys were like double covered, but I don't know. I hope the Packers figure it out, which, I think they will. But I think this team now is just so much more built around the run. We're so good in the running game. Glenn says, I think our coaches lack adjustment skills. Barry not blitzing and playing too much zone. LaFleur calling 3 deep passes and not running the ball. Yeah, I said earlier, I think that the Packers should play less zone. Let Jair and Eric Stokes be up on their guys on the line instead of 10 yards back. I agree with that. Ryan, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that. Should the Packers go after Antonio Brown? I would have to say no. That would be my response. I would have to say no for that one. He's just sort of a wild card, and I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it works in the locker room. I just don't know if you take that risk. I still think he's a talented player when he played last, but I would rather someone like Odell if I had to pick someone. Stone Cold says Packers should have drafted George Pickens. His game fits Aaron Rodgers and what he likes more than Watson. George Pickens is very good. He's looked very good. He's had some really nice highlights. But as I said earlier, I think we still have to give Christian Watson some time. He's only, 5 games into his career? He's still very athletic. Gren808 says, bro, I thought Rodgers becoming a hippie this offseason would make him the greatest season of his career. Well, I think he sort of became a hippie like 2 years ago. So he won back-to-back MVPs. So yeah. Gary says the Packers are waiting on OBJ. They could be. Last week, Aaron and him seemed to be, connecting a little bit. They seem to like each other. It could work. Yeah, Antonio Brown in the locker room. There could be drama. There could be. If that happens. Should Packers go for DJ Moore? I mean, any top tier receiver, like I'm not opposed to add one, like any of them. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily necessary, but clearly would help, I think. But I saw the Panthers said they don't want to trade DJ Moore from an article I saw. Yo, what's up, Refault? How's it going, dude? Wait, Kyler, that's you, right? I'm pretty sure I clicked on your Twitter and that's your YouTube. Touré's injury. Yeah, actually, I honestly, what's going on with Samori Touré? Is he sort of forgotten about him recently? Gren 808 Rodgers, my favorite player of all time, but wasn't hitting on him. Oh yeah, no worries. Well, Devontae saying Vegas. I assume so, considering he signed his like 5-year, what was it, 5 years? 5-year deal. Dawn says Packers need Jim Leonard from the Badgers as their D coordinator. Yeah, wasn't he one of the guys who, when the Packers were looking for a D coordinator, wasn't he one of the? Pretty sure he was one of the like contenders. Was he the guy who decided to, like he passed on it? Was that what happened? That was like 2 years ago. Of course it is. Oh, sweet. Good to see you, dude. Dude, I appreciate that, Jacob. Enrique, do you watch Rodgers when he's on the Pat McAfee show? Yes, I do. I make sure I watch that interview, usually like in the evening on Tuesday, just to see what's going on with Rodgers, because clearly he talks about the game and everything. So definitely, I watch it every single week. It's very enjoyable. I enjoy the Pat McAfee show. Have I already talked about Devontae? A little bit. Yeah, someone asked about him being charged this morning with like misdemeanor assault or something like that. Which I was shocked to see it go that far. I was shocked, but yeah. I mean, yeah, I talked about it in a video the other day. Clearly he shouldn't have, Devontae shouldn't have shoved him, but I don't know. Sort of a crazy situation. Altfi with Lee Loman, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Deshaun says, I'm low-key sick of Aaron. Is that bad? Like, wish he could retire already. You think Jordan could be great for us? Yeah, no, I would disagree. I do not want Rodgers to retire. I do not. Clay Matthews to Green Bay. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice, but he's sort of retired, so I doubt he makes a comeback. But man, watching Clay back in the day, where is he? There's Clay. Nathan, it's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Rodgers or Brady, Packers boy? Rodgers. I would like some of Tom Brady's Super Bowls, though. King Ryzen, you say Pickens more ready than Watson. Yeah, he could be more ready currently. I mean, Pickens has played really well, but I said earlier, yeah, I think we just need to give Watson some time. People calling for, yeah. Yeah, but I'm hoping this week, we can get things figured out against the Jets. I'll probably do another live the next few days, like really breaking down the game. This is more of just a generic talking about what's going on here. And I'll keep going maybe a little longer, but it's been fun so far. Cooper's Cards, you moved to Green Bay from California 5 months ago. Can't stand Niners fans everywhere I was, so you had to move out of there. Hey, that makes sense. How do you like living in Green Bay? Brady, he's a winner. That's all that matters. He is a winner. John Veng, what do you think Allen Lazard's ceiling point is? Decent wide receiver, good wide receiver, great. I feel like, I feel like Allen Lazard, I mean, he does so much in like the running game, like his blocking ability that doesn't necessarily always show up on the stat sheet. But yeah, no, I love Allen. Is Dobbs wide receiver 1? I think he has a potential to be that, definitely. But it's like fluctuating week after week. Like this past week, it was Randall Cobb, had 7 receptions, I think, 99 yards. But yeah. Oh, here I have a tweet here posted by Matt Schneidman, who worked for The Athletic. He has some great articles. But he says here, Aaron Rodgers on Devontae getting charged with misdemeanor assault. And Rodgers said, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised. I love Devontae. I reached out to him after the game. I hadn't seen the clip yet, but yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised too. I saw that tweet popped up this morning on my phone that he was charged. And I was like, wow, it was surprising. Dude, Jacob, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Nathan, do you think the offense can be about the same as last year by the end of the year with these rookies? I think it can happen. It's still early. The Packers, Rodgers said this past week, like they're not super steady. Lots of the teams in the past have been more steady overall, like on offense especially. And I think we can become that. I think it just comes down to getting everything figured out, and hopefully that happens. Because if not, and if we in the future, if we have games where you only show up for one half in the playoffs, that's not going to go well. So I think the Packers are going to learn from what the mistakes they've made so far, and I think they can get to that point. I do think they can. El Navidas, can you imagine DJ Moore, OBJ, and AB with the Packers? That's a lot. That's a lot of receivers. John says Allen Lazard and Romeo Doubs need 10-plus targets a game. Yeah, but with that many targets, we probably need to rely on the running game more, though. But dude, Doubs, I think Doubs is going to be a great receiver when all things are said and done. Like, he's still so young. Coob says, what's the point of the season if our defense is Swiss cheese? Barry refuses to adapt changes, and there's no expectation of mid-season firing. It's obvious the personnel is not the issue. I do agree that when you look at the talent of this defense, because this before the season, it really seemed like this was going to be like a top 5 defense, which I still think they can be. But as I said throughout this stream and earlier, as people have asked and stuff, that I just think that like the way that this defense is being called doesn't make as much sense. Like the zone and like sitting off so far and sort of being passive. When you have like Jair, who's just such a stud cornerback, and Eric Stokes, like it makes more sense, I think, to put him not 5 or 10 yards off, 10 yards off, maybe closer to line of scrimmage, make those receivers, fight them a little more. God of Thunder, what's up? Dude, I appreciate all your comments on my videos. Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, the cameraman did run in front of him. That is true. Foreign Boy says our defense is very good in being held back by terrible zone plays. Yeah, I would sort of tend to agree with you. I'm curious to see we'll see this week how this defense responds. I feel like lots of times in the past, the Packers respond well after a loss, especially being at Lambeau Field. But the Jets definitely should not be taken lightly. As I said, I'll be going live probably in the next few days to talk about the sort of more of a game breakdown. But the Jets just put up 40, so they have lots of young talent there. Breece Hall, running back. They have lots of talent over there. Nick, the realtor, got to fly. Keep up the good work. Dude, I appreciate it. Have a great night. Glenn says, why sign Aaron Jones to a $40 million contract if he aren't running the ball? Yeah, I think we're going to see Aaron Jones run the ball a lot more this next week. Because Matt LaFleur said, he wants to be running the ball more as well. Maple, next season, where do you see Amari Rodgers? I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure. He's had, the punt return work. He did sort of fumble last week. Luckily, he received it. But he hasn't really, I don't know if he's had many snaps in offense, really. But I'm not sure what's going on there. Refault, yeah, I got to break down the game as well. Yeah, for sure. Foreign Boy, Jets are good, but if we play man versus them, they won't score much, if at all. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens if we just play super, super aggressive. Have our corners out there, ride in the face of the receivers. Make them get past those guys, like make them get by Jair, which I think is very tough to do. Tim Armstrong, what's up, Tim? Good to see you, my friend. Watson, punt returner. Yeah, we had Watson out there at for kickoffs last week or this past game. So I'm curious to see if he'll move to punt return. I don't know. Maybe just stick with kickoffs. But yeah, if Amari keeps fumbling the ball and punts, that's not going to be great. Hopefully he can get that in check. Do you think level play or where'd it go? Lost a comment. John Vang, do you still think level play of if Rodgers' finger is still hurting? It seems that his finger is like he missed practice today, but it seems like he should be fine. Matt LaFleur seems to expect him to play. I think he's fine. Like it seems like he's going to be good. Tim, what are my top 4 teams in the NFC? Ooh, that's a good question. Let me just look at the standings here. The teams. Eagles have looked great. Yes, Tim. Tim, I know you're a Cowboys fan. And we have our, Chipotle bet on the Cowboys and Packers. Unfortunately for me, the Cowboys are ahead of the Packers right now, but I'll go Eagles. Eagles top. I try to take my emotion out when I'm doing these kinds of things, but it's hard sometimes. I just don't know if the Cowboys will keep it up, Tim. I just don't know if the Cowboys are going to keep it up. I feel like, anytime the Cowboys start to give you lots of hope, that's when it starts to go downhill. But they do look really good on defense, so it could be different this year for you, Tim. But let's go Eagles. Eagles, Packers, Cowboys, 49ers. I definitely need to think more on that. That was just off the top. I have hope in the Packers. They'll respond. Adams or Lazard, definitely Devontae. Devontae's, the best in the league, so. God of Thunder, in all honesty, bro, I get all my Packers info from you. I appreciate the growth. You are awesome, and thanks for all you do. Dude, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for tuning in. Coob says, there's nothing the Packers can do this Sunday that will get me off my pessimism for the season. The next opportunity to change my mind will be against Buffalo. Yeah, that will be a great test for the Packers to see what they can do that day. Definitely. But I feel like there are teams in the past, like I think it was the last year it was either the last year or the year before when the Buccaneers, like 5 weeks in, were looking like pretty bad and they win the Super Bowl. So I think it's tough to judge a team off the first 5 games. We'll know more near the end of the season for sure. Cheese crown. I totally agree. Queso the Duke. JR Scoop, what your top 4 teams? Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Tampa. Yeah, I may need to put Tampa in there. I need to think on that. What's the line for the Packers versus Jets? I actually do not know. Why does Bakhtiari barely play? I think they're still like slowly moving him in. They're just being super cautious with Bakhtiari. Like last game, he played like 28 snaps, I think, and Yosh played like 30 or something. So I would assume the next few weeks he'll get to like fully playing. I would assume. Jacob, what made you a Packers fan? You love the color green. Your dad threw on a game with Favre playing, and it was a history ever since. Yeah, my mom grew up in Wisconsin, so she raised me as a Packers fan. So that is why I'm a Packers fan, even though I live in Texas. Tim, at least you gave the boys some credit. Looking forward to the Packers-Cowboys matchup. Yeah, hopefully the Packers destroy the Cowboys. Hopefully. Refault going to eventually try and get Adrian on here. Dude, I'd be down. That'd be sweet. Stone Cold builds. Bills going to destroy Packers. LOL. I hope not. Yeah, Bakhtiari has looked really good out there when he's played. Tim, you say Tampa is garbage. It's tough though to count out Tom Brady, Do I live in Green Bay? No, I live in Dallas, the Dallas area. Who do I think will win the Super Bowl? The Packers. Yeah, they were cautious with Bakhtiari because of the long flight, yes. What's the Packers' record going to look like at the end of the season? So we're 3-2. Let's go either 11-6 or 12-5. That's what I would say. Dude, I appreciate it, Pack fan Iowa. Quick, what's up? All right, guys. Well, I've enjoyed this live. Oh, before I finish, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 donation. That's very kind of you, Nate. I appreciate that a ton. What do you think of this? Career touchdowns the first rounder. Breeze 104, Brady 105, Manning 293, Favre 127, Marino 84, Rivers 35, Rodgers 1, Roethlisberger 69. That is a crazy stat. That is a wild stat. I think that shows you just how good the Packers have been at drafting receivers. Like what, Jordy in the second, Devontae in the second. Wasn't Randall in the second? I mean, we've done well. And I think we got a steal in the fourth with Romeo Doubs. So Packers have found a way to invest in a receiver. That does make you wonder what would happen if the Packers picked first-round receivers, but we've been good at not picking them. We've picked others even better. I appreciate that, Alan. Who do you think would be the best hockey player in the Packers? Ooh, not much of a hockey guy, but I would probably have to go with hockey. I don't know what a good hockey build is. Dude, let's go with AJ Dillon because I would like to see him just like truck people out there on the ice. All right, guys. Well, this has been a fun live. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, but I've enjoyed this. I'll probably do another one sometime soon. Maybe a Packers Jets breakdown in the next few days potentially. So stay tuned, and we'll hope the Packers can get back on track this next week. But I appreciate all you guys who tuned in. Thank you to all you guys who donated. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to support the channel. But thank you guys. It's been fun. I'll see you guys soon.